Hey guys, SeaMonkey here with another video. Today, I'm going to go over 10 tips for beginners at Apex Legends. This by no means is a comprehensive list, but just a couple of things I thought worth mentioning. Let's talk a little bit about jumping from the ship and picking a spot to land. At the start of the game, someone on your team will be assigned the Jump Master role. If you're brand new and assigned to be the Jump Master and don't want the pressure of picking a place to land, you can relinquish control of your role as the Jump Master to another player in your team that might feel more comfortable doing it. After a couple of games, you should start to notice some patterns in the ways most people choose their landing spots. You can also ping locations from the ship to let your Jump Master know what you think might be a good spot to land. You can agree to a spot by simply pinging the same location that someone else already pinged. You should also watch for enemy skydive trails and keep track of where people are landing around you, as it's always better to have some situational awareness and be ready for a fight. From the ship, regardless of its flight path, you can usually make it to almost any spot on the map every time if you just really stretch out your glide. Ideally, you'll want to dive down a bit to pick up some speed and then head straight to maximize your distance. And you can do this over and over again until you're too close to the ground. As you near the ground, you can break off from your team unless you're the Jump Master and then land in your own spot but still nearby your team. This way you can grab a gun and some ammo and not have to compete against your squad to give you a better chance at survival. So you've made it to the ground, good job. Now what? The first thing you'll need is something to kill your enemies. Grab a gun and some ammo, but be aware of the area you're in. Are you in a dense, close quarter set of buildings with lots of rooms, but not a lot of space to move around? Maybe find a shotgun. They're painfully easy to find and even easier to hit people from close range without aiming. If you landed somewhere with a bit more open air, maybe pick up a rifle that will let you hit a bit more accurately out to a farther distance. Once you found your line of defense, which should only take a few seconds, you'll want to grab a helmet and some armor. Helmets will reduce the amount of headshot damage you take, and body armor will allow you to take some damage before directly affecting your health. When you take damage, and you will take damage, you're gonna need to get yourself right again. To restore your health, you'll need syringes or medkits. You can fit 4 syringes per inventory slot, and they'll restore a quarter of your health. They're quicker to use if you're restoring a small portion of missed health. Medkits are larger and you can only fit 2 per inventory slot. They take longer than syringes, but will fully restore your health in one go. Shield cells and shield batteries work the same. You can fit 4 shield cells per inventory slot, or 2 shield batteries per inventory slot. A shield cell will restore 1 block of your shield, while a battery will fully recover any shield you have. The exception to this are the special body armors you can pick up that make shield cells restore armor more efficiently. However, shield cells and batteries basically work roughly the same as syringes and medkits. Some advice starting out is to always make sure to top off your health and armor before going back into a fight. You never know how much that small bit of armor or health may mean the difference between victory or defeat. Also, important note, if you kill an enemy and fully deplete their shield, you can pick up their shield and it'll be fully charged. This is great if you have just downed an enemy team and have another team coming in to mop you up. You can quickly grab a fully charged shield off the person you just killed and get back into the fight. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every new subscriber means I'm doing something right and helps encourage me to make more videos for you. Additionally, if you like the video, hit the like button for me. You can also catch me on Twitch over at twitch.tv/SeaMonkey0321. Okay, this may not be as big as some of the others, but sliding is still important. You slide way faster than you can sprint, and how far you can slide depends on how long you were sprinting beforehand or how steep of an incline you're on. If you're at the top of a large hill and you know you're running out of time to loot, take into consideration that you can make up a ton of ground by sliding all the way down the hill and save yourself a lot of time. Sliding can also be used to make yourself a harder target for enemies if you're trying to escape or trying to get closer to someone to take them down. I personally don't like to use the slide to get up close to someone because it reminds me way too much of the Crucible and Destiny, and there's a reason I'm playing Apex and not the Crucible. The ring is just that. It's a giant orange energy field that slowly closes in on the entire map every couple of minutes. Every time the ring closes, starts a new round. Now the first round is very forgiving and will let you survive outside the ring for quite some time. Many times starting out, my team and I found ourselves far outside the ring as it's closing in on us while we were scrambling and wasting valuable looting time just trying to make it back inside the ring. As rounds go on, the ring will do more and more damage to you, and it'll be more imperative to stay inside the ring to avoid what will eventually be certain death. Some strategies you can use for the ring are flanking your enemies when they aren't expecting anyone to come from outside the ring. As I said before, the ring early on is very forgiving as it doesn't do too much damage. You and your squad can use this to your advantage by going outside of the ring and finding a better spot to attack your enemies from, or maybe just a spot that's not right in the middle of several other teams. Most players won't expect you to do this, and it can be very beneficial if you play it smart and safe, unless you're this team. Early on, I found myself not using my abilities for the fear that I wouldn't have them ready in case I ever really needed them. I found that by doing that, all I was doing was preventing myself from ever using my abilities. Use your abilities. They recharge pretty fast, and if you can use the abilities you have at your disposal to take out an enemy team, that might have just taken out your toughest opponents. Who knows? But don't hold on to your abilities all game for fear of not having them ready when you need them. Every legend has a passive ability, a tactical ability, and an ultimate. Your passive is just that, essentially always active. Know what it is and how it's helping your team. Your tactical ability recharges fast, usually around 10 seconds or so. Don't be afraid to use this when you need to. Your ultimate ability takes the longest to recharge and can be the one that you're afraid to use at the wrong time. Don't be. It'll recharge and you'll get to use it again. If there's a good time to use it, just do it. You'll get better at making the right choices the more games you play, but you only learn from doing. If you're anything like me, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But my aim isn't great, and if you are anything like me, then your aim probably sucks. Take a minute to go over to the firing range and practice your aim with the different weapons. Everything in the game is available here, and you can use this to find out what you really like if you haven't had much of a chance to do so during a real match. You can even bring in a buddy and work on hitting live targets. While you're here, take some time to learn how your abilities work, as well as the other equipment in the game. Unless you're cheating, your teammates will go down at some point, whether they're just knocked down and waiting to be picked up, or whether they are actually killed. If your teammates are knocked down, you have to make a choice. Keep fighting or get them back in the fight. Generally, picking a teammate back up will only bring them back with a quarter health. They will be very vulnerable for a while until they're able to heal. Consider this when making the decision of whether to pick someone up in the middle of an intense fight. Are enemies close by? Maybe you should make sure to kill their team before you pick up your squad mate. Are the enemies farther away, taking pot shots at you? You can probably pick up a downed squad member and be okay. If your buddies are kicked while they're down, literally, you'll have to go to their dead box and pick up their banner. From there, you'll have to bring your teammate's banner to a respawn beacon to bring them back. You can respawn multiple squad members at the same time like this, and you can even find mobile respawn beacons that will let you bring your teammates back almost anywhere. When you respawn your teammates, they will, however, start with nothing. But that does bring me to my next tip. I don't know if this is so much a tip as it might be a pep talk, but too many people are tempted to disconnect when things look bad. I recently played a trio match where our teammate disconnected after they decided to land about 600 meters from us and subsequently died right after. I won't talk about why this is a bad play, but although it's very annoying to start a game with an inherent disadvantage, it really isn't over until it's over. Fuse and I went on to win that match, just us two, and it wasn't entirely all that difficult either. But it's just not your teammates disconnecting, it's whenever you have to be picked up and you have no shield batteries or medkits, when you have to be respawned and come back into the final circle with not a penny to your name. Things will get pretty bleak, but as futile as it may seem or feel, I encourage you to not give up. You'll be very surprised at the great things you can do with very little, and I think the same is true in life. Never give up, never quit. My final tip is really just a branch off of tip 9. If you persevere, you will win. We all have bad streaks, but the odds will line up in your favor, and you will win games if you just keep trying. In fact, the more effort you have to put into winning only makes the hard-earned victory that much better. If you have any cool stories about a surprising win, or about how you persevered against all odds and came out on top, feel free to share down below. Maybe it wasn't Apex Legends. Maybe it was PUBG. Maybe it was Warzone. That's okay. Feel free to comment and share your experiences. Thank you everyone for watching. Your support really means a lot to me. Don't forget to catch me on Twitch, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. As always, I'm SeaMonkey, and I'll see you in the arena.